The ceiling of the galactic conquest chamber shimmered like a digital ocean, reflecting the arrogant gleam in every ambassador's third eye as the high strategist of the Empire raised a clawed hand and declared, "And now, let us begin the seminar on efficient human eradication protocols." Rows of alien generals, scaled, furred, metallic, gelatinous, nodded in cold approval. The Empire had conquered 8 galaxies. Humanity, by contrast, was considered an evolutionary joke, too emotional, too chaotic, and entirely too mean-dependent to be a threat. Their homeworld hadn't even cracked unified planetary governance. They were wrong. In the third row, wearing oversized sunglasses, a beige tourist hat, and a shirt that read "I survived Florida," barely, sat someone who definitely shouldn't have been there. His name was Captain Buck Tango. His clearance level back on Earth was so classified that even the AI that issued it had been deleted. He quietly sipped from a drink labeled Space Margarita, with real lime, and took notes with a glitter pen. The high strategist clicked his mandibles. Human weaknesses include sentimentality, lack of centralized command, and reliance on unpredictable emotional responses. We believe a direct bombardment of cultural infrastructure, beginning with their Wi-Fi satellites, will crumble resistance within 1 solar cycle. Buck raised an eyebrow behind his shades. Wi-Fi? Really? These space lizards had no idea. On the main stage, a sleek Drolakian presenter floated forward. "We analyzed Earth's greatest conflicts, your World War II, Cold War, and the streaming service wars of 2027. All point to instability." Buck smirked. The streaming wars had been brutal, yes. But they also led to the invention of weaponized binge-watching, a strategy the Empire would soon regret underestimating. A multi-screen display lit up, showing a simulation of Earth's cities crumbling under plasma strikes. The alien crowd applauded with clicking tongues, electric pulses, and whatever sound a stock makes when it's excited. It's like wet rubber on glass. They were certain humans would fall. Then came the biggest mistake of the evening. "Let us simulate a countermeasure. What would happen if a single human infiltrated one of our ships?" asked the Drolakian, smug. The simulation showed a lone human wandering aimlessly, tripping over alien tech, and accidentally blowing himself up with a toaster grenade. Buck cleared his throat. Loudly. Hundreds of alien eyes, sensors, and ocular stalks turned. "Yeah, just a thought," Buck began casually, removing his sunglasses, revealing sharp eyes that said, "I've survived worse than this before breakfast. What if the human didn't blow himself up, and instead uploaded a pirated version of Shrek 2 to your neural hive?" Silence. Confusion. Alarm. "Who are you?" hissed the high strategist. Buck stood. Cracked his neck. Tossed his Space Margarita over his shoulder. It exploded. "Name's Buck Tango. I'm from Earth. And your seminar just got a surprise guest speaker." He tapped a button on his belt. Across 7 sectors, cloaked Terran shuttles decloaked above alien capitals and began broadcasting something into every frequency: audio, visual, and telepathic. "Rick Astley's never gonna give you up." Across the galaxy, alien soldiers collapsed in agony. AI systems glitched. Generals vomited. The Empire had been rickrolled. "You studied our wars," Buck said, striding toward the center of the chamber as alarms blared. "But you forgot to study our weird. That's where we live." The lights flickered. A red alert blared in 17 different languages. Earth's message had just been sent. A single line. "You started this seminar. We'll finish it, with extra memes." Alarms screamed across the galactic conquest chamber as Buck Tango ducked behind a floating hollow podium, laser fire ripping through charts labeled "Projected Human Casualty Zones." The high strategist scrambled backward, hissing into his wrist console, "Lock the exits. Capture that creature." Too late. Buck grinned and slapped a shiny red button on his belt. From orbit, Earth's retaliation arrived, not with nukes, but with something worse. Crates of Australian wildlife teleported into command ships, emus, drop bears, sugar gliders armed with caffeine injectors, and one terrifyingly agitated magpie named Trevor. Chaos bloomed instantly. Sector 7 has been overrun by angry mammals, a stock commander shrieked through the neural link. This one sprayed venom in my AAGH, it's in my armor. From Buck's earpiece, a voice crackled. Buck, it's Admiral Keisha. You kicked off early. Buck chuckled. They started the show, boss. I'm just giving him the encore. Keisha's voice remained calm. Then hit him with Protocol Omega. The room dimmed. Massive projection screens flickered, showing human soldiers, not marching in formation, but doing Fortnite dances on captured dreadnoughts. One soldier moonwalked across a disabled flagship. Another grilled hot dogs over a plasma vent. Protocol Omega, the high strategist muttered. What even is this? Buck stood tall in the spotlight. It's psychological warfare, lizard face. See, you thought humans fight fair. Organized. Logical. He winked. Wrong species. On the battlefield, Empire drones attempted to form coordinated strikes, only to be jammed by looping broadcasts of Earth's most contagious audio weapons, Baby Shark, Crazy Frog, and a remix of Barbie Girl that seemed to melt alien brains on contact. In orbit, a Hroth battlecruiser malfunctioned mid-turn as its navigation AI began sobbing. I just wanted to understand humans, it whimpered. Why do they microwave fish at work? Commanders shouted conflicting orders. Their troops, used to linear strategies, collapsed under the unpredictable chaos. Some turned on each other, blaming internal sabotage. Others just curled into fetal positions, muttering they put pineapple on pizza, willingly. Buck ducked a plasma blast, vaulted over a control console, and clotheslined a stock diplomat with a ceremonial scroll of conquest. This one's for Wikipedia, he muttered, and shoved the alien into a gravity well projector. Across Empire space, humans were already making moves. A team of Terran hackers replaced every training AI with clips from America's funniest home videos. In another sector, a lone Canadian deployed excessive politeness as a weapon, disarming warlords by offering pancakes and saying sorry until their moral cores crashed. Back in the seminar hall, one desperate alien scientist screamed, "Activate the planetary incinerator. Destroy Earth now." Another hesitated. "But, they're already on our ships." Too late again. On the Empire's flagship, the Vigilant Dominion, every interface flickered and went black. Then lit up with a message. You've been infiltrated by Wakihaman. Please accept these updated facts. 1. Steve is now Supreme Commander. 2. Your history is wrong. 3. Your fleet is ours. Confusion turned to terror. On hundreds of warships, humans had uploaded millions of contradicting facts, quotes, and completely false celebrity trivia. The alien AI couldn't handle the contradictions and began dueling each other in logic loops. One AI believed Keanu Reeves was a myth. Another claimed he was Earth's God Emperor. Stop the data stream, screamed the high strategist. We must reboot the hive. Buck flipped over a fallen console, tapped into the comm, and said one word, nope. Then he detonated a packet of pure Florida, stolen from Earth's most chaotic state and compressed into digital entropy. It launched hallucinations, gator illusions, and full-body confusion into the enemy's command networks. Some alien leaders saw clowns. Some heard banjo music. One believed his limbs had turned into tacos. The seminar was officially over. And Earth hadn't even used half its weird yet. The high strategist, twitching, slammed a button on his chest. Recall the Armada. This species is unstable. Nope, Buck said again. Because just then, a new broadcast hit the Empire's secure emergency line. A Terran diplomat appeared on screen. She wore a sparkly cape, LED sunglasses, and held a ferret. Her message? We kindly invite the Empire to surrender. We will not harm you, unless you make us watch Cats, 2019, again. Then we can't guarantee anyone's safety. The broadcast cut out. The chamber fell silent, except for the distant scream of a Zenthi warlord being chased by a koala wielding a spork. Buck dusted off his sleeves. So, still think we're the joke? The high strategist collapsed into his throne, mumbling something about reality fractures and illegal jazz hands. And Buck? He walked out the main door casually, past stunned guards, flipping a space margarita umbrella between his fingers. Earth had shown its first card. And the Empire had no idea how many decks were left to play. ChatGPT said. Lights across the Empire's capital planet dimmed as a strange rhythm pulsed through its atmosphere. It wasn't a weapon. Not in the traditional sense. It was dubstep. Every Empire command hub, war room, and secure archive now blasted synchronized bass drops, courtesy of Earth's latest offensive, Operation Wub Wub. Ships began to shudder, not from damage, but confusion. AI interfaces jittered in sync with the beat. Calculations faltered. Translation matrices looped the same Earth phrase over and over again. Drop it like it's hot. In the heart of the Imperial Control Nexus, the high strategist staggered to his feet, mandibles twitching. This is not warfare. This is performance art. A subordinate, a four-eyed Sivian with anxiety glands in his armpits, replied in a tremor, "Sir, it gets worse. They've activated the resonator." A hush. The resonator was myth. A whispered doomsday rumor in fringe frequencies of the Empire's surveillance logs. No one had proof it existed, just scrambled footage, all ending the same way, alien leadership staring blankly, then breaking into spontaneous line dancing. Now it was real. Across the galaxy, random citizens, military officers, street vendors, imperial nobles, began compulsively singing karaoke in languages they didn't know. One warlord recited Bohemian Rhapsody in flawless Russian. Another, mid-execution, stopped to duet 1,000 miles with his would-be victim. The resonator didn't destroy matter. It obliterated order. "Where's it coming from?" the strategist shouted, slamming his claws on the hologlobe. A terrified aide chirped, an untraceable signal, bouncing off their lunar disco satellite. "We believe it's housed on their moon. Inside a nightclub. Called the Bounce Chamber. Earth had turned the moon into a weaponized party. Meanwhile, the human fleet wasn't attacking in any traditional pattern. They had no front line. No formation. Some ships were disguised as taco trucks. One battleship was painted like a rubber duck. But they were winning. Inside the Imperial archives, a secret council convened, ancient, withered tacticians who hadn't spoken in centuries. They considered Earth's next possible move. "They can't escalate further," one hissed. "They must run out of insanity eventually," another muttered. And then came the drop. In every major command center, an emergency message appeared, an invitation. "You are cordially invited to Earth's first intergalactic roast battle." It featured humans roasting the Empire's greatest minds, in front of a live galactic audience. Within the hour, the stream began. Terrans took the stage. First was an 11-year-old from Wisconsin. She pointed at the Empire's war hero and said, "You look like someone microwaved a lizard and gave it a PhD in crying." Laughter erupted. The war hero fled the studio. Next came a Scottish grandmother who annihilated an Imperial admiral by comparing his intelligence to a confused potato with Wi-Fi. The Empire's morale shattered live on camera. In the Senate of Galactic Law, several allied species, long oppressed by the Empire, began laughing. Publicly. One ambassador wheezed, "We thought they were primitive. But they weaponized sass." Back in the shadows, Buck Tango broke into the Imperial Shipyard Corps disguised as a motivational speaker. His presentation? 10 ways to fail at galactic conquest and still cry in a cool cloak. He sabotaged 50 ships just by roasting their design flaws. Who puts the main cannon next to the bathroom? What are you, barbaric? By now, the Empire's top minds had cracked. The high strategist sat in his meditation pod, rocking back and forth, whispering Earth memes like mantras. They used ducks. They used music. They rickrolled our planetary defense grid. In his chamber, a last-ditch plan was drawn. "We must deploy the unthinkable," whispered the council. A moment of silence followed. "But sir," said the youngest among them, "we don't know if we can survive that." "We won't have to," the high strategist said grimly. "If it fails, we blame it on the Gorzaks. They're used to being scapegoats." And so, the Empire activated Project Final Dawn, a doomsday machine designed to reset consciousness across 10 sectors. A clean slate. Humanity would forget its madness. The galaxy would stabilize. Only, they forgot something. The device required a stable logic matrix to activate. And humanity had already infected that matrix with chaotic nonsense. When they flipped the switch, the machine booted up, paused, then asked in a cheery voice, "Do you want to install TikTok?" Screams echoed across the chamber. Then the final blow landed, not from a bomb or a laser, but from an unexpected alliance. The Galactic Meme Council, neutral observers long thought irrelevant, sided with Earth. Their reasoning was simple. "We value creativity. The Empire produces fear. Earth produces content." The tide had turned. Every Empire broadcast, every command stream, every encrypted channel now displayed one haunting line, blinking in perfect rhythm. "The algorithm has chosen." And Earth was trending. Buck stood on a captured dreadnought, surrounded by surrendered officers in shackles made of spaghetti. He cracked his knuckles and whispered into his headset, "Keisha, we're in." "Final phase?" Her voice came back like thunder. "Let's finish the seminar." Buck Tango kicked open the war chamber doors of the Imperial Core Citadel like he was arriving at a pool party he wasn't invited to, and didn't care. The high strategist stood waiting, flanked by twitching aides and 3 nervous bodyguards, each one holding a weapon powered by tech so advanced it could read thoughts. Which was unfortunate. Because Buck was thinking nothing. Absolutely zero coherent thought. Just an endless loop of a dancing llama and the phrase "eat the fleet." That's what broke the scanners. "Stand down," the high strategist rasped. His robes were stained, his authority leaking like coolant from a busted cruiser. "We acknowledge your victory, but we will not kneel." Buck cracked his neck, sauntered forward, and tossed something across the room. The strategist caught it by reflex. It was a USB stick. "What is this?" the alien hissed. Buck grinned. "A gift. It's a full download of Earth, the complete history. All 50 terabytes. But out of order. And every third fact has been replaced with Nicolas Cage quotes." The strategist dropped it like it was a cursed artifact. Behind Buck, the human crew filed in. Admiral Keisha entered last, calm as ever, sipping tea. Her uniform was spotless. Her eyes were deadly. "Here's what's going to happen," she said. "You're going to surrender. You're going to admit Earth is off limits. And you're going to stream our apology video across all Empire systems." The strategist sneered. "Or what?" Keisha gestured. A nearby wall peeled open to reveal the Empire's flagship, the Vigilant Dominion, now bright pink and covered in cat ears. On the side, the words "Meow Mech Supreme" were spray-painted in galactic standard. "Or that," Buck said cheerfully. "And trust me, this is the polite version." In orbit, the final stage of Earth's plan went into effect. They didn't fire a single weapon. Instead, they dropped the archive. A massive infobomb filled with every embarrassing detail the Empire ever tried to hide: failed invasions, botched experiments, intercepted diary entries from the high strategist labeled "Why Humans Scare Me," and one particularly bad Empire talent show performance involving interpretive dance and soup. It spread across the galaxy in seconds. Billions watched. Billions laughed. Empire support collapsed overnight. On the homeworld of the Rokthar, statues of the high strategist were replaced with bobbleheads of Steve, a human from Ohio who single-handedly defeated a battlecruiser using only duct tape, Capri Suns, and a Bluetooth speaker blaring "Eye of the Tiger." Steve, by the way, was currently on the Citadel roof, waving at passing alien news drones while holding a sign that read, "Hi Mom. I broke the Empire." Inside, the strategist sank into his throne. This was never war, was it?" he muttered. Keisha shook her head. "Nope. This was a group project. You failed your part. We did all the work." With a final sigh, the strategist tapped a panel. Across Empire-controlled space, the signal went out. "Retreat. Stand down. Do not engage humans. Ever again. Victory." But Earth wasn't done. In one final broadcast, streamed from the very podium where the seminar on human eradication began, Buck stepped into the light wearing aviators and a jacket made of duct-taped memes. He looked into the camera with the calm confidence of someone who'd once thrown a microwave at a cyborg and called it Tuesday. "To all species across the galaxy," he said. "We came in peace. You invited us to a seminar about how to destroy us. You made PowerPoint slides. You used charts." He held up a space margarita. "And now, you're trending at negative respect levels across 17 star systems." He sipped. "Earth has no kings, no emperors, and no supreme council. We've got barbecues, questionable music choices, and 5 billion people ready to argue online about pineapple on pizza." He leaned closer to the mic. "Come for us again, and we'll bring back Harlem Shake." Mic drop. Literally. He dropped the mic, which exploded into fireworks shaped like middle fingers. The Empire was broken. Not by lasers, not by warheads, but by humans doing what they do best, being absolutely, unpredictably, gloriously chaotic. The stars would never forget. And somewhere in deep space, Steve winked at the camera, flipped his Nerf gun, and whispered, "Never underestimate a species with Wi-Fi and bad ideas." The screen cut to black. Earth had spoken. Ask ChatGPT.